Happy birthday to me. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is in fact my birthday. Like last year, Goodreads decided that they would drop the nominees for the Goodreads Choice Awards on the day of my birth, which really just feels fitting since every year I decide to read all of the nominees in the Goodreads Choice Awards in the category of romance. And last year I also did sort of a predictions style situation in the video where I read all of the nominees that I hadn't read previously, kind of give you my thoughts, told you who should win, etc. I do it every year. I think we all know that I do it every year. This year I decided I wanted to just really luxuriate and treat myself to a video in which I tell you who I think should be in the top 20, not even who I think, but who I expect to be there. And then also we can look at what was actually put there. I'm gonna do this all while I do my makeup, so that I hopefully do not look like a bridge troll for my birthday. Hair is done, jewelry is applied, perfume's on, but makeup is not done. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so self-indulgent and delicious, and it's just gonna be everything I want it to be. So first what we're gonna do is I'm gonna run you through the top 20 that I've selected, and then I'm going to live react to the actuals. I'm praying it's not bad, though I have seen murmurings that it is questionable, but I feel like that they're always questionable. First up, we have The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I feel like right out of the gate, this is sort of a bold choice because it is an indie romance. However, I feel like if an indie romance is going to make the list, of course I get foundation in my hair. If an indie romance is going to make this list, I feel like it's got to be one that sort of took the world by storm, sort of one that everybody seemed to love. And it seems like everybody loves this book. So I am predicting that if there's an indie or two on this list, Right Move is going to be one of them. I could see myself voting for this book because I really enjoyed it. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I feel like you're going to see a lot of traditionally published romances on this list, some which like maybe wouldn't necessarily think about maybe. And I think that Yours Truly is one of those in that it feels a little bit more, I don't want to say women's fiction-y, but like a little bit in its execution. But I did like this book. I thought that it deserves a place on this list. I can't remember if I gave this one 4 or 5 stars, but would be surprised if I didn't see this one on the list. Next up is one that I actually am not sure about. I feel like this book got a little bit of buzz, but I feel like it's been a while since Christina Lauren has actually made it onto the Goodreads Choice Awards. So I'm putting The True Love Experiment. I don't know if it'll make it or not, but I thought it was a pretty cute book, and I feel like the first book in this series did make it on the list, and I feel like that's the reason I read it in the first place. I could be wrong. It is interesting how I've discovered some romances that I wouldn't have otherwise discovered through the Goodreads Choice Awards, so you know what, maybe it's not all bad. Hopeless by Elsie Silver. Honestly, Elsie's had so many different releases this year that I feel like any of them could make the list, but I'm going with Hopeless. It's the most recent release, and I feel like this was probably my favorite of the ones that were released this year by her, so I'm going Hopeless. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a different romance. I won't count it, like I won't count it as, oh, I predicted this correctly, because I'm not putting any alternatives for that one, but like Hopeless for sure. When I am going to count either that makes the list, although I'm not sure this book is out yet, maybe. Okay, Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey or Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. I feel like I've heard really good things about Wreck the Halls. I feel like most people did not enjoy Secretly Yours, and I think unfortunately Yours also came out this year. I feel like that one got even less buzz, so I didn't put that one, but I will say, like, if either of these romances makes the list, again, I think it counts at that point, you know, because I put the 2 alternatives there. So I think either of those will make the list. Here's the thing. I think that Tessa Bailey is like, I want to say her book quality has gone down in the past couple of years. I don't think anything's ever going to beat It Happened One Summer for me. I'm just like constantly holding out hope that something will. I don't know. I think maybe the longer I read, the more I'm like, that one was maybe just like an anomaly, and the big boob loving alpha male thing just like really isn't for me. I have Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. Here's the thing. I liked that one. Inevitably, there's romances that I feel like I don't actually hear a lot of people talking about, but by authors that people tend to love, and I would not be surprised to see this one on the list. I don't really have much to say about this one. It's a closed door, typical Sarah Adams romance set in a small town called Rome, and it was cute. I read both of the books in this series this year, but I think this is the one that came out this year, and yeah, it was fine. A book that I haven't read but I predict to see on this list, which is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, or is it Poston? I don't actually know. I put it on the list, on the Goodreads Choice Award nominee list. This is one that so many people recommended to me as like their favorite book of 2023, and I know a lot of people liked the one about like the dead guy that she wrote last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one is on the list, even though I don't really feel like they're that romantic. They're a little bit more women's fiction-y to me, but whatever. Next we have Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I could also see the other one being on the list, but I'm gonna put Things We Hide from the Light because I feel like that one got more buzz. I didn't personally like this book, but I could definitely see it being on the list. Similarly, Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I did read that one. Did I read that one? I can't remember a single fucking thing about it. I think I did read that one. It's gonna be on the list, just mark my words, because everybody goes fucking gaga for Carly Fortune stuff. I just don't think that her romances are for me. I think that's really the way to put it. They're just simply not for me. And for that reason, I think it's gonna be on the list. There always has to be a couple of outliers, books that I just adamantly do not like, and I think that is gonna be on the list. And I say that. Just watch me look at my Goodreads and realize I have not read this book. I'm pretty sure that I have, but I don't remember. Next, I have Once More with Feeling by Alyssa Sussman. Didn't like that one. I didn't like Lisa Sussman's first book, but that one was also nominated for the Goodreads Choice Awards. I think that was my least favorite one from the Goodreads Choice Awards last year. Happy birthday to me. But you know what? I could see it making an appearance. I feel like this is gonna be harsh. I think that this, if it does appear on the Goodreads Choice Awards, is going to be her last book as a nominee. And honestly, I kind of feel that way about Meet at the Lake by Carly Fortune, or like Carly Fortune's writing in general. I feel like these authors have like a debut that kind of goes viral, and then the second book's just kind of mid, and then they kind of fade into obscurity. And, you know, I'm not saying I like wish that on them. I'm just saying I could see that happening. So if this book makes it on the list, I don't see another book making it on the list next year. And we have Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Again, inevitably we're going to have some books on the list that are not really romances and are instead more like women's fiction-y things. I actively did not like this book, which is such a bummer because I really liked, I can't remember, The Bodyguard. Last year I thought that one was so fun and playful, even if it's not like a true romance. So yeah, I could definitely see this one making the list. Then I have Happy Place by Emily Henry. That's a shoo-in. Hope it doesn't win because it wasn't very good. I think even if you're a fan of Emily Henry, I just don't think this is her best work, but I mean, it's gonna make it on the list. Then we have Love Theoretically by Ellie Hazelwood. I feel like this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't make the list simply because this is the least buzzworthy of all of Allie's releases. However, it's still at Ellie Hazelwood, and I feel like there really weren't that many super buzzy releases this year. I just feel like, generally speaking, and maybe it's just because I'm a bitter old hag, hasn't had much luck this year. I just really don't feel like there have been that many amazing viral releases besides maybe, what's that book called? Fourth Wing? Did that come out last year? I don't know. You know what I mean. I just feel like I haven't really seen anything reach that level of like, wow. Cruel Seduction by Katie Robert. Again, I always like to hedge my bets when I make lists like these because inevitably there's going to be books that I don't like or authors that I just haven't had success with. I've never read Cruel Seduction, but it's her newest release, I think. Well, actually, I think she just churned out another one of these like smut-filled things. I think that it's gonna be on the list. I think this one specifically will be on the list. Don't ask me why, I just feel it in my bones. Then if they're feeling zesty and there is a historical romance on the list, which I do believe there should be, put Knockout by Sarah McLean on there. I feel like I heard a lot of buzz for this one from the historical romance girlies. I don't know if it actually turned out to be any good. I never read it, but you know, I feel like hedge my bets. Let's put a historical on there. There's gonna be like a Martha Waters on there. I swear to God, if I have to read another Martha Waters. Then I have Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I feel like if anyone deserves to be on this damn list, it is Kennedy Ryan because this book was phenomenal. It was so deeply romantic. I feel like we need to have like categories of romance now. I feel like romance is such a large category. Can we have not just romance anymore? Like give me a romance category, a smut category, a historical romance. Like give me more. You know what I mean? She deserves to be on it. This one, again, I could see it. It's gonna be on the list. The Long Game by Elena Armas. I haven't heard anyone talk about this book, but that doesn't mean it won't be on the list, you know, because I feel like both of her other releases have been in the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I actually own this one, and I'm gonna be a little salty if it doesn't make the list, specifically because I thought that it would be on the Goodreads Choice Award nominee list. Then I have either Final Offer or Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. Sort of forgot that Final Offer came out. I think that one came out in January, and I think this last one came out, like a week or two ago. So I'm like, is that too early for it to make the list? Also, doing my eyeliner while talking is sort of like insane. Can we recognize that? King of Pride by Anna Huang. I feel like one of the Anna Huang releases will be on the list. I'm going King of Pride because I think that was the first one. I think King of Greed might be the one that people enjoy more. And sometimes I can't tell if like books are released or if people are just reading arcs, so I don't even know if that one's released. I'm like 90% sure that it is. Actually, I think I was sent a copy of that. Wow. Okay. Lastly, I have The Plus One by Maisie Eddings. I feel like this one got a lot of buzz this year from people on my Instagram. I don't know if that's actually a sign that this book is going to be on the list, but I feel like you've always got to have some of the less, like, I don't want to say buzzy, but like less hyped author names on the list. I'm going that one. I feel like I did pretty good with the predictions. I don't know. I feel like I've been sort of out of the loop a little bit with romance releases this year. Maybe not like out of the loop, but I feel like I haven't enjoyed the ones that are popular. I feel like I haven't found a lot that are like holy grail all-time amazing reads. And so I feel like maybe my estimations are off. So I am going to lowball my estimate on how many on my list are gonna make it onto the final list. I'm thinking 10 of my 20 will make it. And I'd be happy if I like guessed half of them. That would be amazing. And then in terms of how many I think that I've actually read, I also think I'm going to lowball it. I think I'm going to have read 13 of the 20. I think 13 of the 20 is pretty good. I feel like last year I had read 14 of the 20. I don't know. I think I read like 6 books for that particular vlog. And so those aren't like my official predictions. I think I predicted 10 of them, and I think that I have read 13 of the 20, though time will tell. I'm going to finish up my makeup, which is just my brows. I'm gonna hop on my bed and laptop on my lap like it's not already on my lap, and we can look at the Goodreads Choice Award nominees together. All right, I'm hearing delicious chainsaw / like mowing the grass noises, so I'm hoping that those are not in the background. Let's do this. This is my fucking Super Bowl. All right, first, things we hide from the light. We're 1 for 1, baby. We're 1 for 1. Not shocked, not surprised. Then we have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Again, not shocked, not surprised. You know, I say that. I'm a little surprised just because I feel like I didn't hear much buzz about that. But again, since there weren't a ton of like really hyped romances this year, I feel like, of course, this was going to make it on the list. Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly, and then Catherine Center's Hello Stranger. Dude, I am fucking nailing it. 4 out of 4. And it's actually about to be 6 out of 6. The 7-year slip and the right move. I'm good at this. Am I good at this? I'm good at this. Okay, for 8 of 8. This one I didn't expect. You Again by Kate Goldblack. I feel like I've never heard of that. I have not read that book. I guess I will be reading it for this video. Not this one, but you know, the one in December. Then we of course have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. I said if there was going to be a Christina Lauren on the Goodreads Choice Awards, it would be this year because of the like popularity of that first book, and I was right. Long Game by Elena Armas. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I've already so beat my predictions. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, there we go. Interesting. Okay. We have Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I feel like I probably should have predicted this one, but I feel like this is one that even though it's a follow-up to a really popular book, Icebreaker, I don't feel like I heard a lot of people talking about this one. I definitely did expect to see it on this list. But I think to me, the biggest surprise of all of this is In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. I know that she is really like popular for Fourth Wing and for Iron Flame, but I certainly did not expect a contemporary romance by her to be on this list. I feel like I've seen this on, not Goodreads, on Amazon Prime? I don't know. I feel like I keep seeing this book, but I just don't hear anyone talking about it, so I would not have expected that. Happy Place by Emily Henry, of course. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Yeah, I was kind of predicting that one over her newest release. Actually, don't even know like what the time period is. The cutoff, so like maybe that's why the other one didn't make it. Pucking Around by Emily Rath. Interesting. I know a lot of people liked this book. I DNF'd it. I was going to reread it for a video where I read books that I DNF'd, but I guess I'm not going to do that. I'm going to read it for this one, so yay. Then we have A Long Time Coming by Megan Quinn. I feel like I've seen a lot of Megan Quinn books with covers like these, but this is not the one that I thought would be on this list. Maybe I'm just like really off on my release dates. Definitely didn't see this one coming, especially considering some of the other books that like didn't make the list that I listed. Powerless by Elsie Silver. I said it would be hopeless. They put Powerless on the list. I'm not counting that as a win for me, but it kind of is a win for me because I have already read this book. I liked it. Glad to see Elsie Silver on the list. And then lastly, Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. This is one of those books that they tried to push at us, right? Like Book of the Month had this as one of their selections. I feel like I was seeing like buzz about it from publishers, but it wasn't necessarily a book that a lot of romance readers were picking up and rushing to read. So this is an interesting list. I don't think this is like really that representative of romance this year. I mean, it is, but like there's definitely stuff missing. So I predicted 13 out of 20, which I think is higher than last year. I think last year I did 12 out of 20, so pretty good. We are improving. Now let me see which of these books I have versus haven't read. I have not read The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I have not read King of Pride by Anna Huang yet. Long Game by Elena Armas. Wildfire by Hannah Grace. In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. Pucking Around by Emily Rath. A Long Time Coming by Megan Quinn. And Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. Holy shit, that's 8 books. That is, I think, the most amount that I haven't read for a Goodreads Choice Awards. Is that for real? That is in fact real. Wow. Okay. Lots to think about. Really, like a lot of things are swirling through my personal big fucking melon head at the moment, just because I have to read these books and I also have to kind of sift through them. I think the things I was seeing on threads today made a lot of sense. A lot of people were complaining that Goodreads Choice Awards are not very diverse. I don't think there are any queer books on this list, unless we're counting Pucking Around, which I think has like a male-male relationship in there, although I could be wrong. There are no like female-female romances on the list. There, I don't believe, are any books by authors of color. I don't quote me on that, but like, where are the authors of color? I mean, that's like worse than it normally is, I feel like, for the Goodreads Choice Awards. Very interesting list. Oh, okay. Now we can kind of talk about too, I guess, what isn't on this list, like compared to what I have. I'm trying to like cover all my bases here. I didn't see any Tessa Bailey on the list, which is kind of interesting. I feel like I would have seen at least one of her books, but again, I don't feel like the ones she's released this year have been like that hyped by a lot of people. What else? Cruel Seduction by Katie Robert. That was like a take it or leave it. Same with Knockout by Sarah McLean. Plus One by Macy Eddings. Same. Everything else though, like, oh, Once More with Feeling. Yeah, there's not like a lot on the list that I'm like super disappointed, like on my list that didn't make it on that list, except for the Kennedy Ryan book. But I think there are a lot of things that made it that I'm just kind of like I get it, but also I just don't get it. So much to consider. Much to think about. I would love to get your take in the comments down below on what you thought of the nominees for this Goodreads Choice Award. I guess I'm going to be reading 8 romances. I literally did not expect that for this year's Goodreads Choice Awards, but that'll give us some interesting things to talk about, and I think makes an even bigger point for me including this in this video, so I don't use the time I took for this in that video that's going to be really fucking long. Last year, I think it was an hour. I read 6 books. I talked about the other, I can't do math, 14 books, and then also predicted. So interesting times, folks. Yeah, do you agree or disagree too with my takes? Like on how I felt about these books? I would love to know. Thanks so much for watching this. It was a fun way to pass the time. Happy birthday to me, I guess, sort of. Love y'all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.